Season Pass, sponsored by City National Bank, starts now.
Welcome into Season Pass. Week 27 officially starts now. I'm your host, Brian Cunningham, as always. We only have 6 more episodes after tonight. Can you believe that already? High school baseball starts us off before we take a look at some high school softball games from this past week as well as we're going to look into Angelo State's past 7 days as the Rams and Rambells both notching some accomplishments recently. But, of course, we recap the Final Four ahead of tomorrow's championship game. But we're going to get started with Central, who's up first. The Bobcats with 3 district games this past week against Midland. Central hosting district rival Midland on Thursday night, looking to snap a 3-game skid. Bottom 4th. Not a good start for the Bobcats, already trailing 5-0, but Mason Van Sickle lines a base hit to left. Lead runner on for the Cats in this inning. 2 batters later, Van Sickle showing some aggressive base running here, trying to steal second, but he's caught. What a throw by the Midland catcher with a great pop time on this one. Bobcats trying to make something happen a little later, but it's just not their night. Midland takes game 1, 11-1. Central drops its 4th straight game, now 2-5 in district play. And the Bobcats closed out their series versus Midland Friday evening, dropping their 3rd straight game this past week to the Bulldogs. Final score in this one, 9-7, as the Bobcats move to 10-12 on the season and back in action this week with 3 games against Odessa for district play. A breezy north side evening, almost perfect baseball weather. A few Chiefs huddled up together to start the 4th. Lakeview holding a 2-0 lead through 3. A 3-up and 3-down effort put the Chiefs back at the plate. Ruben Salgado extends the lead to 3 with his massive RBI double and the left field wall in the 4th inning. Chiefs not done yet, though. A little controversy. A few plays later, Big Springs coach coming out to argue a call. Maybe he's asking him for dinner. You know, what's for dinner tonight? Something like that. Not quite sure. And he's gone. That'll surely damper the evening in Big Spring over there. And just a few batters later, another double and a hit by pitch led to this wacky play here. Chiefs are going to outsmart them, scoring 4 runs in the 4th, 6-0 at this point, and final score in this game 10-1, and now 5-3 in district play, sitting in 2nd place. And Lakeview closed out their week on the road in Snyder facing the Tigers. The Chiefs fresh off their 10-1 win on Tuesday versus Big Spring. The Tigers in Friday's game barely notching out the 1-point win. 5-1 in this one. The Chiefs 5-16-1 this season. Lakeview with 2 games against Lubbock, Estacado, and Loveland later on this week. And over to the Diamond again, staying with the Diamond, the number 2 Wall Hawks hosted Merkel in a District 6-3A matchup, looking to defend that district title. Wall's Gunnar Dillard at the plate with Kellen Oliver and Garen Wiggins on 2nd and 3rd. Dillard blasts one to deep left center field for a 3-run home run. Wall leads 3-0 in bottom of the 2nd. Now still 3-0 Hawks. Starting pitcher Reed Ballard up to bat with a runner on, and he's going to crank one deep left as well. That's gone. A 2-run homer. Wall scored 4 in the 2nd, extending the lead to 7-0. Hawks, 3 Hawks with 7 hits on the night. 3 of them were home runs. Dillard and Ballard each drive in 3 runs. Wall added 6 more runs in the 3rd and 1 in the 4th en route to a 14-2 win called after 5 innings. And the number 2 Hawks up again, closing out their week strong with a 14-2 win over Merkel on Tuesday and a 10-0 win, moving to 17-4 overall and improving to 9 straight wins for the Hawks. The Hawks back in action this week versus Clyde and at Abilene. A Concho Valley matchup highlights the next game. This past Tuesday saw Cristobal and El Dorado facing off. The Cougars would win 12-6 over the Eagles to improve to 8-7 on the year. The Eagles 2-7. El Dorado back in action this week with 3 games. Cristobal with 2 of them themselves. And our last Friday game, another Concho Valley matchup. Cristobal was back in action, this time against Miles. The Cougars taking this one 7-4 and moving to 9-7 on the year. The Bulldogs now 3-10 on the season, and both teams back in action. And Brady baseball up now. The Bulldogs wrapping up their 9th straight non-win, tying 2 of those games. A tough past few weeks in Brady, though. The Bulldogs currently sitting at 3-12-2 on the season. Brady in action this week against Comfort for 2 games. And Grape Creek and TLCA highlight our final matchup before the break. A 14-0 game called to run rule for the Eagles. The Eagles now 3-16 on the year. The other Eagles 3-11 on the season. Grape Creek at Sweetwater later on this week. TLCA at home versus Merkel. Coming up next on Season Pass, high school softball is on deck. When we come back, we recap more scores and highlights from across the Concho Valley. Stay with us. Season Pass, we'll be right back. Well, softball in the Concho Valley is heating up. A few teams in district action here as district play continues to pick up as the schedule winds down. Lady Cats kick things off, losing 5-15 in this tough contest from Friday. A tough loss, dropping this district contest. The ladies will be back in action later this week. And Lakeview softball up now, taking on Big Spring this past Tuesday at home over on the north side. The ladies would fall in this one 8-5. Just looking for a little consistency for some of these past few weeks for the maidens, now 11-10-1 on the season. Lakeview second game of the week on the road against Snyder. The maidens looking to flip things around, but unfortunately could not do so in this contest. The Tigers taking this one 7-2, moving the maidens to 11-11-1, and of course back in action in a week. The Lady Hawks from Wall up now. The Lady Hawks taking their second game against Merkel. This one 9-1, not even close. The Lady Hawks moving to 19-6 on the season and currently rolling through district play. And their second game of the week for the Lady Hawks, this one against Clyde and the Lady Dogs. The Hawks winning this game 15-10, 25 total runs scored between the two teams. Hawks move to 20-6 on the season. The best record for all the ladies, still sitting in first place in their district. Ozona's up now as we continue this 2A district that is just neck and neck with 5 of our Concho Valley teams. The Lions taking on Wink last week and winning big in this one 17-6, improving to 4-7-1 on the season. The Lady Lions, of course, back in action later this week. Cristobal and El Dorado highlighting their next game. The Lady Cougars, who have won 3 straight contests entering this game. The Eagles looking to avoid 3 straight losses. The Cougars took this one, though, 17-7 and 9-2 on district play. On the year, 5-1 in district play. Sonora softball up now. A game last week versus the Wolverines from San Antonio. A tough game for the ladies, though. 15-6 was the final score, and now 12-8 overall, 2-2 in district play, and back in action later this week. Coming up next on Season Pass, we pick up the pace a little bit as we get into some local track and field. Don't go anywhere. Season Pass will be right back. Picking up the pace a little bit, San Angelo Stadium was the site of this past week's district track 5-4A track and field meet hosted by Lakeview Chiefs and the Maidens. Things got underway on Wednesday and Thursday with the girls and boys 3,200-meter runs, followed by field events and running prelims. In addition to Lakeview, other schools competing include Big Spring, Levelland, Lubbock Cooper, Liberty, Lubbock Estacado, and Snyder on Thursday. Varsity field events are scheduled. They have started at 12:30. They ran through 2:30, and the top finishers advanced to the area meet. And staying local, the number 2 ranked Wall Hawks currently just had one of their own take the next step to the next level. Family, friends, athletes, faculty, and staff all gathered around inside Wall Hawks school gym Friday afternoon to witness a milestone. Hawks senior athlete Luke Kemp has officially signed with Paris Junior College to play baseball next season. Athletic director Brian Morrison and Hawks baseball coach Jeremy Gordon were among several speakers, reminiscing on Kemp's remarkable high school career. Congratulations, Luke, and good luck in your next chapter. Let's now take a look at some Concho Valley teams and some baseball records. Central coming off of a tough series loss versus Midland. The Chiefs looking just for some consistency. Number 2 Wall winners of 9 straight after Friday's 10-0 game. Grape Creek just broke their 10-game losing streak against TLCA Brady, sitting at 3-12-2. Ozona, the only team here with double-digit wins. Cristobal, Junction, and Mason all almost getting there, and Miles, Sonora, and Menard all struggling, but looking to close out strong in district play. And over to the ladies now. Let's take a look at some softball records around the Concho Valley. Wall highlights the first group of 20 wins so far this season. Grape Creek looking for win number 1. Brady and Lakeview looking for some consistency, while Junction and Mason sit at 3rd and 4th in their own district. Ozona in 3rd in the 5-2A, and Cristobal sitting atop the 6-2A. Miles in 2nd in that same district. El Dorado in 4th, and district play continues this week for all of the Concho Valley as the playoffs are soon nearing. Coming up next on Season Pass, Angelo State has had themselves a week sporting the number 1 team in baseball. Now lots to cover. Our very own Griff McClellan joins us next to recap the past 7 days for Angelo State. Don't go anywhere. Season Pass will be right back.
Coming off a historic weekend when head coach Travis Scott reached 1,000 career wins, Angelo State softball began to shift its focus to one conference opponent whom the Red Bells would face 4 times this week. The number 7 Red Bells would conclude their 2-week road trip Thursday at Lubbock Christian, followed by a rematch at home on Sunday. Lone Star Conference pitcher of the week, Cheyenne Floyd, looked to pick up right where she left off, pitching 12 2/3 innings and allowing no earned runs the previous week. On offense, Tatiana Trier looked to stay hot after hitting 4 home runs as well. Most of all, ASU's bats looked to stay hot, especially against a younger pitching staff. Let's hear from Coach Scott ahead of these matchups.
A little bit up and down. They're a younger pitching staff, in particular, pretty young in the circle. Now the Lamb kid's a senior, and you know, she pitched well against us last year, so we'll have to hopefully make some adjustments for her. but a team that's going to, they're going to compete and they're going to swing it, and we're going to have to go up there and play really well at their place in particular, and then turn around 2 days later and get them home here.
Game 1, ASU wins 3-2. Ashton McMillan steals home in the top of the second inning. LCU responds with 2 in the bottom of the 6th to lead 2-1, but ASU's Zoe DeBaca hits an RBI single in the top of the 7th that ties the game, and Avery Gunther scores in the same play via an error at first base. In the pitching circle, Floyd also improves to 17-5 on the season, pitching a complete game, allowing only 3 hits. Game 2, different outcome. ASU scores first in the top of the 5th, but LCU responds with 5 unanswered runs, including 3 in the bottom of the 6th, en route to the 5-1 win. Sunday this afternoon, Red Bills back on their home field after the 10-game road trip where they went 5-5. Top of the 4th, ASU up 6-1, but the Lady Chaps hit 2 solo homers in the 4th inning, cutting it to 6-3. Top of the 5th now, 2 outs, same score. Ground ball to second, and what a flip by Aaron Plunkett. Check out this play right here. What a flip to Leilana Applin for the 4-6 putt out. Bottom of the 5th now, Avery Gunther hits this shot deep over the left field fence for a solo shot. Make that 7-3 Red Bills, and ASU goes on to win by that exact score to take Game 1. Floyd pitches another complete game for her 18th win of the year. And in Game 2, Amelia Hawthorne also goes the distance, pitching a complete game, allowing 6 hits and 1 run. Avery Gunther also hits another home run as ASU rolls to a 4-1 win, sweeping the series. Over to baseball, a new #1 team entered the chat in the latest Division II rankings this past week. That is, of course, Angelo State. The Rams returned to their home diamond Saturday to face #24 St. Edwards in a matchup of 2 ranked conference teams. The Rams had won 10 in a row going into this one, scoring double digits in 6 of those games. Versatility was definitely key going into this pivotal LSC series, and head coach Kevin Brooks' vision ahead of the ensuing series.
Key you have to have a great offense is to be able to score runs in a lot of ways, and we've really done a good job of that. And so, weather forecast holds for the weekend, and it'll be a pitching top defense, top series probably, and we'll have to continue to do that well.
ASU back on its home field, first time in nearly 2 weeks, looking for its 11th straight win. Rams trailed majority of Game 1, but it all came down to the dramatic 7th inning in Weston Velocic's at bat with 1 out, grounds the 3rd. Hilltoppers tried to turn the 5-4-3 double play, but Brett Samalstrel was out at second, but the throw to first was bobbled. And then Jacob Guerrero scored at home. The Hilltoppers recorded 4 errors on that day, and the Rams walk it off 5-4, a final score. In Game 2, Dax Dolphy was on the mound for ASU, and his previous 2 outings had 17 strikeouts and no runs allowed. Velocic kicked off the scoring for ASU via a fielder's choice, and Lane Hutchinson followed suit with an RBI single to put ASU ahead 2-0, and the Rams win it 6-3, sweeping Saturday's games. But Sunday, things got interesting. Rams trying to clinch the series, but things took a turn. The Rams start the scoring early as Velocic drives Chase Penley home with an RBI single, but the Rams commit 4 errors in the day, and St. Edwards this time capitalizes, dominating the rest of the way for a dominant 8-2 win. ASU looks to clinch the series Monday in Game 4. And that game, of course, begins Monday afternoon at 1 p.m. Central. The #1 Rams hoping to re-enter the win column after their 12-game winning streak was previously snapped. And now to the tennis courts. The Red Bills started the season 12-0, but had gone ice cold with 3 consecutive losses. The Red Bills had dropped out of the top 25, but had a huge opportunity to get back on track this past weekend, starting in Wichita Falls to face the #2 team in the country, Midwestern State, followed by Cameron on Monday. Red Bills head coach Jason Potoff discusses how his team planned to utilize the week to regroup, recharge, and prepare to hit the road once again.
The whole week, it's just going to be about making sure we take care of the vibe of the team and prepare to go out and have a tough battle, because our tennis didn't get any worse in the last weekend. It just didn't. We weren't quite as focused as we needed to be, and we weren't as sharp as we needed to be. So that definitely needs to get better. And so we're probably gonna, the first day of practice, we're gonna get out like we usually do and just hit a lot of balls and get our feet under us and just get prepared for the rest, and we're going to have to compete in practice.
Now, unfortunately for the Red Bills, it was not a great day at the tennis courts. The Red Bills dropped their 4th consecutive match, this time a 5-2 loss at the #2 team in the country, Midwestern State. Benny Raggiati and Margot Renee win their doubles match early on, but the Mustangs get the doubles point and take 4 of the ensuing 6 singles matches for the win. And ASU looks to end the drought tomorrow at Cameron. Match begins at 1 Central in Lawton, Oklahoma. Over to track and field, the #18 Rams and #13 Red Bills hosted their 2nd outdoor meet this season, the David Noble Relays. The women's heptathlon and men's decathlon began with events such as high jump, 100-meter dash, pole vault, the list goes on and on. In the women's high jump, Gracie Stevens, Kylie Frush, and Marisha Spence all competed. Spence cleared a height of a little over 1.6 meters, the highest on the team. In the men's 100-meter dash, ASU's Mark Burton, as shown right there, finishes second in 11.19 seconds. The meet continued throughout the next 2 days. And the women's heptathlon and men's decathlon also wrapped up. Rem decathlete and defending national champion Mark Burton once again finishes first in the discus with a toss of 43.33 meters. For the Rem males heptathlon, Marisha Spence again, Kylie Fresh and Gracie Stevens finished first, second, and fifth, respectively. Relays, field events, and running finals followed on Saturday, the final day highlighted by Oleg Ananev scoring a 10 in pole vault to finish first, followed by Pacer Hill in second with 8 points. And finally, we head to the golf links, where the Rembells started the week finishing 10th in the WT Desert Invitational in Tucson, Arizona, with a total score of 656 over 2 rounds. On the team, junior Mia Clark records the best score with 158, hitting 4 over par in the first round and 10 over the next. Freshman Kelsey Klein competed individually, scoring 171 total, shooting 13 over par on day 1 and 14 the next day. 3 days later, ASU made the short trip over to Phoenix, where the team finished 7th in round 2 of the RJGA Palm Valley Classic, hitting 7 over par as a team and 17 over par through 2 days, 2 rounds, to finish with a score of 593. So ASU total is 295 in round 2, and Johanna Erling delivers the best result for ASU, hitting an even par 72 day 1 and just 1 over par on day 2. Coming up next on Season Pass, the great chase is complete as Alex Ovechkin reaches an unprecedented milestone. Season Pass, we'll be back after this short break.
In a world where the foundation of progress lies in steel, W&WFCO Steel stands as the backbone of the most iconic and challenging structures built today, like the Sphere in Las Vegas.
We did that.
Project Ludicrous.
We did that.
Growing up a sports fan, I was told there's a few records that just wouldn't be surpassed. Ricky Henderson's steals, Pete Rose's hits, and I was told Wayne Gretzky's goals would never be surpassed. But today, history was made, and one of those has fallen. Alex Ovechkin entered today tied with the all-time goal record, and a power play would seal the deal for him. Ovechkin has officially surpassed Wayne Gretzky for the most goals scored all time. I can't even believe I'm still saying it. Incredibly doing so in the same amount of games as Gretzky, a monumental moment in sports history. The GOAT, Wayne Gretzky, in attendance as he promised Alex that he would be. Ovechkin also with his wife and mom cheering him on in the stands as well. Celebrating with his teammates, a sports moment. Again, I can't believe I'm witnessing. Hats off to Alex Ovechkin, the all-time goals leader in NHL history now. Well, the Final Four is set. The 4 teams earlier in action yesterday as we stayed glued to our screen, and man, you didn't want to miss any of these games. College hoops, Florida and Auburn facing off in the Final Four. The Gators beat the Tigers their first meeting. Tigers held an 8-point halftime lead, but the Gators claw back. Elijah Martin with the 3-ball here. The game 49 all, fans on their feet. Auburn has to call a timeout, an 11-0 run for Florida early in the second half, and the lead is back to 4. And Walter Clayton Jr. again, as he's done all tournament, nailing the 3, a 1-point game. And the Gators, they are not done yet. Gators, we swap now. They are up 1 now. 4.5 to go. Clayton Jr. again tosses it up. Gators up by 4 now after the Clayton 3, and Florida by 3 now. Clayton Jr. again calls his own number, and this potentially ices the game. A 34-point performance. Florida moves on to the national title game after their 79-73 win. Their first appearance in the title game since 07, facing the winner of Duke and Houston on Monday night. Oh, and looky there, Duke and Houston up now. The winner to play Florida Monday night to the national title game. Duke held a 6-point lead, but would have one of the worst meltdowns in tournament history. The Blue Devils scored only 1 field goal in the final 10.5 minutes, holding a 14-point lead, but mistake after mistake, including a 9-0 Cougar run to end the game, led one of the biggest tournament meltdowns in history. Houston with the comeback to win this game 70-67. Cougars pull off the improbable, now set to face the Gators Monday night for the national title. And sticking with college sports, our basketball bracket challenge sponsored by Mitchell Automotive Group is still underway. The national title game is set. Florida faces Houston Monday night. And if you've been competing against Griff and myself, hello there, Griff, the local VIPs, and following along with our little competition, well, Griff, the comeback is officially complete, down from 30 points. The Gators took the game, Duke fell, and I took the win against Griff. Don't forget the Concho Valley. This year's winner of the bracket challenge in the Concho Valley earns themselves a 70-inch 4K TV. Donald currently in first place. Now tonight I want to highlight an awesome story over in Philadelphia where a vintage sports shop is actually making news for their culture and good doing. Check out this story regarding the Monkey's uncle.
Now it's banked it in. Malowicz keeps it alive. Somehow it ends.
street or you're out at the sports bar, someone's going to stop you and say, dude, where'd you get that?
And you can say you got it from Monkey's uncle in Doylestown. Derek Morgan and his wife founded the apparel shop 15 years ago. But these aren't your everyday threads.
We are a retro vintage-inspired Philly sports boutique. We're selling memories and nostalgia. You know, we want to tap into the old school stuff, the Chase Utley, the Mike Schmidt, the Brian Dawkins, and Randall Cunninghams. Our focus really is the throwback because, you know, who doesn't love the baby blue and the maroon or the Kelly green?
But here is more than just shirts.
This area behind you.
After his own son was diagnosed with autism, Morgan is on a bigger mission, helping young adults with special needs.
High school students.
Okay, lift the handle.
With special needs that come to us 5 days a week, and they're coming in and they are learning how to ring a register, how to fold, how to sticker. They're even shipping our web sales all over the world.
Some of those sales are the students' own creations. Morgan launched Monkey on a Mission, where he teaches them how to take their own artwork, digitize it, print it, and sell it.
Kids are getting a royalty for their own artwork. They're literally designing it and selling it and handing it over to someone in a bag. And like the fulfillment, the pride that they get out of that is just immeasurable.
Wow, that wraps up this episode of Season Pass. You can check out all our content at the ConchoValleyHomepage.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at KLST Sports. Make sure to use the hashtag Season Pass to stay in the conversation. We're going to see everybody next week. 6 more episodes after tonight. Good night, Concho Valley.
Season Pass, sponsored by City National Bank. For more in-depth stories, scores, and highlights, head to ConchoValleyHomepage.com. For more on today's stories, visit ConchoValleyHomepage.com. Closed captioning for the hearing impaired is sponsored by the Law Office of Rick DeHoyos.